Hello, boys and girls. I'm back for chapter 4 of Nancy Clancy's Super Sleuth, and this chapter is called Mysterious Mementos. So, if you remember, before their teacher had given them an assignment to bring a memento, which was something that was special to them, and they had to write a paragraph and give clues, and then their classmates had to figure out whose it belonged to. So, there's actually a picture here of, the teacher having all their mementos set out and some of her classmates there. So, Chapter 4. The cowboy hat is Robert's memento, Nancy wrote. She was filling in the blanks on her mystery memento sheet. Mr. Dudney had handed a sheet to each kid and then said, "Go to it, dudes." All the mystery mementos were on the table by the windows. The cowboy hat was easy. Robert used to live in Texas. The glass mouse is Bree's memento, Nancy wrote. Bree owned lots of tiny glass animals, and she kept them on a special shelf in her room. See, I knew right away. You could have told me. Nancy didn't say those words out loud. She just thought them. Nancy figured that sometimes she and Bree could read each other's minds. Two kids had brought in shells. One was a bright white one with brown specks. The other was white and purple. The white and brown shell is Clara's memento, Nancy wrote. Clara had not disguised her handwriting. The paragraph for the other shell was typed. It said, "I found the shell on a beach in Florida where we stayed in a hotel with 3 pools. My family had a suite. Suites are bigger and cost more than a regular hotel room. I had the best time ever in Florida." The white and purple shell had to be Grace. Grace bragged all the time about her trip to Florida. "Hey, no fair, you're peeking," Nancy said. Grace was sneaking a look at her sheet. Here's a picture of Grace sneaking a peek at Nancy's sheet. "I'm not. I guessed yours already," Grace said. "It's the bead bracelet." "Maybe yes, maybe no," Nancy smiled. "Ha ha, you're sadly mistaken. That's fancy for wrong, wrong, wrong." Nancy didn't say this out loud either. She was not friends with Grace, and Grace would never be able to read her mind. Nancy went round the table. Who did the snow globe with the Statue of Liberty belong to? And what about the shark tooth? Or the swim trophy from Signing Pines Day Camp? Nancy was stumped. She stopped at the big, deep blue marble. Bree was looking at it too. Inside was a white swirl. The marble was taped to the table so it wouldn't fall off. "Whose is it, you think?" Nancy said to Bree and Clara. "It's gorgeous," Clara said. "That's my favorite color, blue." "I bet I know who it belongs to," Grace said, "but I'm not telling." Nancy ignored her. "It looks like a precious jewel." Nancy held up her hand and imagined the marble was a fancy ring on her finger. And then she read the paragraph. Oops. "My grandfather gave me this. He taught me how to play a game of marbles. It's a lot of fun, and I got pretty good at it. When he was a boy, all of his friends played the game together. But most kids today don't know how. I can teach everybody the rules." The paragraph talked about teaching. Was that a clue? Nancy tapped her pencil eraser against her lip. Maybe the marble belonged to Mr. Dudney. At the end of the day, the kids revealed which mementos was theirs. "Mine is the potato that looks like the witch's head," Lionel said. "I knew it," lots of kids said at once. Nancy had guessed right too. Lionel was such a goofball. Besides Bree, only Robert and Tamar figured out Nancy's memento. The other kids probably figured she'd bring in something fancier. Mr. Dudney went last. "I brought in the marble." "Superb!" Nancy punched her fist in the air. "I guessed it was yours, Mr. D." Grace said, "I got 13 right. That's really good, isn't it, Mr. Dude?" "This really isn't a test," Mr. Dudney said. Guessing was just for fun. Your paragraphs are enthralling. That means I found them very, very interesting. So, dudes, want to learn how to play marbles?" Everybody crowded around Mr. Dudney while he drew a chalk circle on the floor. In the middle, he made a plus sign with 13 smaller marbles. He held up the big blue marble. "This is the shooter. It shoots the little marbles." "Hey, I'm a marble! Ooh, ooh, ooh! I got a shot!" Lionel clutched his chest and staggered to the ground. "If you shoot a marble outside the circle, you get a point," Mr. D explained. "The player with the most points wins. I used to be pretty good." He bent down on one knee and he put his blue shooter outside the circle. A flick of his thumb sent it whizzing toward the little marbles. 3 got hit. When they stopped rolling, there were 2 outside the circle. "Ooh, can we try?" Robert asked. Mr. Dooney said, "It just so happens I brought a bunch of shooters," and he started handing them out. And there's the kids. You can see here at the bottom where he set up that circle with the marbles. Robert got one with orange stripes. Lionel got one that looked like a bloodshot eyeball. Nancy got a green shooter with sparkles inside. No fair, yours is prettier than mine, Grace said to Nancy and pushed in front of her. Can I go first, Mr. D? Can I? Whoa, no pushing. Everybody will get a turn. Shooting marbles was harder than it looked. Nancy didn't get any points. Don't feel bad, Bree said. I stink too. When it was almost time to go home, Mr. D scooped up the little marbles, and then he passed a bag around to collect the shooters. Hey, watch this! Lionel held the eyeball marble between his thumb and his pointer finger, and he made a fist and rubbed both his hands together. When he opened them, the eyeball marble was gone. Pretty good trick, their teacher said. It's not a trick, Lionel insisted. It's magic. Then, do some more magic and make it reappear. Mr. Doodney waited until Lionel dug inside his sleeve for the marble. Aw, rat, said Lionel. I wanted to keep it. Mr. Doodney was retaping the beautiful blue shooter to the table when the bell rang. Adios, dudes. See you tomorrow on Family Day. I wonder what Family Day is and what they have to do for that. And then chapter 5 is called The Return of Rhonda. Anybody remember who Rhonda is? They still haven't figured out what one of those twins said that they didn't want Nancy to know. So I'll be interested to hear if we learn any more in chapter 5 tomorrow.